Gather everybody, send a message, let them know, call the peppers, call the members, call the interested parties, all those who are interested, call everybody who wants to know what the Progressive Empowerment Party is doing, let them know, message them, share the video, get the word out there, get the people together, let's have a conversation, start it now. Somebody told me today I had to go to a supermarket this afternoon, and somebody said to me, he walked up to me in the supermarket and he said, "You may not remember me, but I know you since you're small." Now, I love when people remember me from my childhood, and I love when people from my childhood who've known me since I was small come out and tell me, "We're supporting you. We're supporting what you're doing. We're only hearing good things." When we listen to you, today I met a pastor and his wife, shake my hands, blessings to me. A nun who was the principal of a prestige school gave me a hug and a kiss. They all saying the same thing. Don't stop, Philip Alexander. You and your Progressive Empowerment Party are changing the game, the way politics is done in Trinidad and Tobago. So, we're not stopping. The name of this video is "In It to Win It." And it's not going to be business as usual. It's going to be an open door. It is time. It is time. All of you who say you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, get on this train. If you're not in the PNM and you're not in the UNC, because you know the PNM and the UNC is cancer and corruption, if you're not there and you don't join the PEP, you're on shit. You're on nonsense. You're on ego. You're on talk. You're on talk. The UNC sent out a message today Tell Philip Alexander he need to join with us. It can't be about his ego. I want to send a message back to Kamala. Kamala, I know the message is coming from you. You are proving them. I want you to hear me say this. This is not about my ego. If it was ego, I would have joined the UNC. If it was ego, I would have taken the post-soldier offering. This is not about ego. This is about fixing our country. Kamala, we watch you and your 5 years and 6 months. You had an opportunity. We watch Rowley nearly 4 years. We watch Pandey. We watch Manning. We watch the entire Jackass farm. And the game after game after game. We watch it. Every time we vote for one of y'all and wait, a 5-year chunk of our life passes. A whole 5 years, miss, you could count your life. In 5 years gone to Pandey, 5 years gone to Manning, 5 years gone to Kamala, 5 years gone to Rowley. That's 20 years. That there's 20 important years. If you were 20 when that shit brigade started, you're 40 now. It's a different time in your life. You can't be squandering life waiting on these politicians. Kamala, what you going to do different? Tell us. Somebody called in on the radio today and said, you're talking about food? Why you didn't do when you was in office? You're talking about national security. Why you didn't do it when you was in office? You had control of the People's Partnership with a special majority. You could have fixed everything. Why you didn't do it? You was happy living in Gopal house, giving Gopal contract to move fuel. You was happy sharing out Trinidad and Tobago like Jub Jub to friends and family and financiers. Or you was drunk and giddy sharing up Trinidad and Tobago like this Jackass bunch too. You think Trinidadians want the next one of y'all? They're not choosing me because of my ego. They're not choosing me because I'm pretty. They're choosing me because they have faith for the first time. Somebody is standing up and talking like a real leader. Somebody is standing up and talking about bringing these sons of bitches to justice. They've been needing to hear that for a long time. And Trinidad and Tobago, under a Progressive Empowerment Party government, will be a horse of a different color. There will be no calls and beggings and friends. There'll be none of that. There'll be none of that. As I quote the Bible today. I quote the Bible today to tell people, we will say we know you not. Look at them, Azim Hussain. I bet you 10 to 1 is the next fake profile or a sycophant. Azam Hussain, he have no friends in common. He have 59 friends and he on my wall to tell me I winning nothing. While I blocking him, I want to explain to you that people like him only find their way to this live video to say things like that, to try to convince you who know better. They only find their way to this wall to try and convince you who know better. You know why they have to say it? Because Kamala and the crew panicking. Bounce up Tim Gopi saying, boy fell, boy fell. Listen, there are some good people was in your party, or they take them for a ride, or they lead them astray. Or they lead them astray. Don't study the trolls. None of you all study the trolls. Dave Lux and I, we will deal with the trolls. Who get out of hand will be blocked. The live video will disappear in their newsfeed. I just want to call out that guy's name because early into the video 3 minutes in, and we attract somebody to come and say we're winning nothing. I want to ask you a question. If we're winning nothing, why say it? If we're irrelevant, why would you need to say it? I will never forget. There was a movie called A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicklaus. And if you've never seen A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicklaus, there was a scene in the show just before it reached the whole world knows the scene, You Can't Handle the Truth. They have that scene, but just before it, Tom Cruise asked him a question. If you said Santiago was not to be touched, and you said when you give an order, people obey or lives are lost, then why order him? Why give the order to transfer him off the base? If he was safe by your first order, why would you need the second order? Why two? And the entire defense collapsed right there. If the UNC wasn't panicking scared over the Progressive Empowerment Party, there would be no need for memos and releases internally in the UNC, for UNC groups on Facebook not to allow, not they don't share it, but to stop allowing Philip Edward Alexander and the PEP from being shared on their pages. Imagine that. If they wasn't panicking. If they weren't in trouble, why would they need to do that? Why? The truth, the undeniable truth of our situation remains. And this you cannot argue it. 56 years, $3 trillion, uninterrupted government, and nothing to show for it. 56 years, $3 trillion spent, 2 oil booms, and nothing works in Trinidad and Tobago. What now? What next? What could either of them promise you, to give you, to hold? No. Now that you've seen the light, now that you've had conversations, not just if you could have water 24/7, but how you could have water 24/7 and why you should have had water 24/7. You see, Century Eslon and the pipe importers never was supposed to make the kind of money they make importing pipe. Diego Martin not supposed to send water to Mayaro. Caroni not supposed to send water to St. Anne's. It is an insanity designed to rob this country, raid the treasury, import pipe. Import pipe. You see, when we told you that Diego Martin West has 10 times the water that Diego Martin West needs, that Diego Martin West should never, not one single person in Diego Martin West should need a tank. Not one person in Westmoreland, Goodwood Park, Glencoe, Bagatelle, Coville, Rich Plain, Mason, Factory Road, La Preta, Saganga, Abbey Pujad, Big Yard, Scorpion, Upper Hague Street, Point Kumana, Caranage, Chagaramas. Nobody in Diego Martin West supposed to have a water tank. Nobody in Diego Martin West supposed to have a water pump. Nobody in Diego Martin West should ever be without water. WASA should never be sending a van 3 days, 3 nights a week at the intersection where Moncoko Road meets Westmoreland Boulevard, where the drain, where the lock-off is in the middle of that intersection, to turn the water to decide tonight, La Puerta and Goodwood Park and Goodwood Gardens get water, Westmoreland South will live off their tanks. That should have never been our situation, because Diego Martin West takes 10 times the rain, 10 times the water that it needs. Diego Martin West takes it when the rain falls through the atrocity of the crystal stream Diego Martin River that becomes the Westmoreland River. That madness, we take the bounty of fresh rain and dump it in the sea. Because we've had a jackass farm as our government from day one. Eric Williams was a book writing historian, racist shithole. Eric Williams, a legacy. Eric Williams' legacy is to have enslaved the black man in Trinidad again. It is against the PNM, the Black Power Uprising marched. It was against the PNM, the People's National Movement, that McCandle Dagger and the black people of Trinidad and Tobago had to march in 1970. It is against the Eric Williams Black PNM Party that black people had to riot. It is against them, because under the PNM, We were 8 years independent, and black people couldn't hold a supervisory position in any company in this country. We were 8 years independent under Eric Williams and that ragtag bunch of comic clowns and bandits. Ask anybody about the history of this country and miss me with the bullshit. Don't give me the ancillary talk. If you want to do something, never say it, you see it on Facebook all the time. Woman, if a man interested in you, they have nothing that could stop him from getting to you. And if he is seeing you, you are his first choice. If PNM was ever Black People Party, Morva, Beetham, Laventille, Sealots could have never looked so. Because I want to tell you something. If ever there was a Syrian party, there could never be a Syrian community living like how Morva, Beetham, Laventille, and Sealots. White people in Trinidad and Tobago will never allow other white people to live in Abipujad, Big Yard, and Scorpion. White people in Trinidad wouldn't accept Factory Road, Bagatelle, Patna Estate. White people are taking Powder Magazine. When the PNM under Keith Rowley was running for elections in 2015, they took very expensive rattan chairs with cushions under the salmon tree in Goodwood Park and met with you there. But when it was time to meet the black hen chicken, you go by Acton Court and you throw up a stage and you send a music truck and you tell them, come down. You didn't go with your rattan, Keith Rowley. You didn't go with rattan in Rich Plain. Because Lower Rich Plain and Upper Rich Plain that feed Sharon and your 2 daughters and maybe send some money to your 2 outside sons. Rich Plain that put food in your mouth, you stunting son of a bitch. You unrepentant, unforgivable jackass. The people who feed you and your family for 31 years, you spit on them. You're in government 4 years now. You are the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and the Member of Parliament for Diego Martin West. And you've done shit all for the people of Diego Martin West. Nobody except your ride or die heifer, Idabud Polony, and Gillett get the gate. They get to cut off Bayshore and put up a big sign. This is for all you. This for we. Hey, Rowley, that is your legacy. Because they have no, it take you 4 years to open that piece of shit that you call a fish market in the largest fishing community in this country. Caranage. Caranage, whose fishermen could feed Trinidad and Tobago. That piece of shit you get it. No processing, no ice plant, nothing. And that take 4 years. Within 6 months of office, you was farming out contracts to wives of ministers and financiers to pressure wash and mow lawn. Keith Rowley, that is your legacy. And it is my fervent hope. I don't care if I win nothing. It is my prayer, partner, that black people in this country wake up to the reality of the PNM. Because Syrian people arrive in this country with nothing. And I drive through Wainwright Street, Sinclair today and watch a black man on a ladder washing outside a Syrian man big wall. And I asking myself, they only had Syrian prime ministers in this country. Black people never had leaders. Black people had no representation. Because if the Syrian reach after, and for all they say a security guard is a bandit with a baton, and all of them working for a Syrian. Come now, man. Come now, man. Let me talk now. What is going on in this country where the black community, the grandchildren of Africa, are still left behind? Somebody wrote an article about tribe. Tribe. They say the black man on whose history, on whose back, on whose culture Carnival was born, has been relegated to being security guard, holding rope and hosing down the piss truck for Carnival. But you've had a black-faced prime minister for 42 years. How does that add up? How does it add up? Where are the black leaders of this country to insist that Laventille Hill twins Goodwood Park? Where are they? Where are the real black leaders of Trinidad and Tobago to call it for what it is? Where are they? We live in a nation of disproportional allocation of the national wealth. We live in a country where if you don't have political or economic might, the chances of your child seeing Fatima, St. Mary's, Presentation, Holy Name, St. Joseph is slim. They're not making 20%. All of a sudden, out of the blue, in 20 years, names like Sabga, Aboud, and Halid become names to be respected in the country. How? What they do different? And I asked a long time ago, if all of that built on cloth, how come we never had a ministry of cloth? And how come they don't have one black man in this country advocating for black people to buy cloth from black people? And listen, it is not segregation, you know. It is asking a question. How could you look as a prime minister, you Keith Rowley, and know that of all the negatives in society, black people top the list? People incarcerated, people wanted before the courts, people murdered, people homeless, people drug addicted, people failed out of the education system, least amount of home ownership, least amount of business ownership. How could you, PNM, how could the People's National Movement continue to masquerade and fool black people? And I say again, I don't care if I don't win nothing. But if my fervent prayer to all the gods, wake black people up to the shackle and the ball and chain that is the PNM. Wake them up. Wake them up. The die-hard PNM communities who voted Rowley, I don't care what you do, is the nastiest, most broken down, most abandoned, most left behind communities in Trinidad and Tobago. Walk Diego Martin west. Walk from Bagatelle to Columbus Circle. Walk that. And look at the condition of the roads, rivers, sidewalks outside of the black communities. Bagatelle, Rich Plain, Covey, Mason, Factory Road, coming down. In the middle, you bounce up some middle class, things working. La Puerta, things collapse. Everything around La Puerta. Ricardo Garcia, Rocky Garcia brother, the only functional Garcia, when he was the councillor, did everything in his power to remove the layer of road and come back and build a proper road for La Puerta. Today, I drove past St. Finbar's Church past San Diego Park into Sanganga. And there is a line, God is my witness, and nearly get out and take a video. There is a line between two properties that you could tell when you cross over into P&M Heartland. Because when you reach to where the P&M own them, they abandon. Nothing. They living in filth. The sidewalk stop after San Diego Park. Sanganga, take it from there. With two, in Hindu people they say Beswanke. You ever hear Beswanke? Kiss up. BK garbage bin. One on the side, one on the front. Looking like a war zone, a bomb drop right there. It's almost to say, welcome to a black community controlled by the PNM. Look around. Look around. Look at the condition of the homes. Look at the squalor and the poverty of the people. Behind San Diego Park, Sanganga, a road here and a road here. Behind them, they share a wall that separates the properties. Drive from one street to the next. When you leave San Diego Park and go up through La Puerta and turn by Broome Street, when you turn into Broome Street proper and you're coming into La Puerta Heartland, drive up that hill and watch representation leave you behind. Watch it. That's just Diego Martin. I walked Eastern Main Road. Steve Alvarez, a politician, the political leader of the DPTT, reminded me of a time he met me outside the Red House on 1990, the celebration, the remembrance of 1990, because the shit-on politicians wouldn't remember, but we did. And I walked Eastern Main Road, and you didn't need a map to tell you, welcome to Laventille. The moment you reach Morva Junction, you know. When you leave Barataria behind and you cross over into PNM territory, desolation hits you like a fist in the face. And you look up those streets and you could only imagine what nighttime feels like in Laventille. A ribbon of pitch can't help you. The people of this country need leadership. If you think, and I say this again, and who vex, you could cry blood, when your child pass for Fatima and you celebrate and you forget the desolation of the children across the road in Mokorapo, you will shuffle off this mortal coil, and your children who make it will have to deal with the children who don't. At some point, all human beings have the same needs. And if you are not sensible enough, God help us. If you are not sensible enough, parents of children going Fatima College, if you are not sensible enough at the next PTA meeting to say to the rest of them present, a ribbon of pitch separates my child's future from Mokorapo. Let us stretch our hands across the pitch. Let every prestige school in this country twin with a failing school and raise them up. Because we will live with the consequences of the inaction. While you think that you're winning, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. And somewhere down the road, the consequences of that action will bounce you out as sure as night follow day. I say to people all the time, there are too many examples. My partner Ogis, who had to taste public health. Ogis was a wealthy man, but his father's illness that he spent money on pauperized him. But he wasn't letting his father go and sleep in no piss bed in Port of Spain General Hospital. So when he falls sick, is piss bad for him because he had no money and nobody to come and cover for him. Right now, my sister selling barbecue tickets in El Pecos to pay for her medical bills because my sister, fooled by the PNM, fooled. My sister told me in 2015, Rowley is the new Messiah. The PNM will fix it. 4 years later, public health in this country is a shithole and a cesspool. Doctors and nurses write me and call me and text me and WhatsApp me and message me on a daily basis. Mr. Philip, you're right. You're right. They have one company. If you see the van, you go say, but they're making all the money. All the money. Invoice like that. When other people come to supply, the ramp close. Nobody can supply, nobody can receive, the ramp closed, they can't find the man. But when them reach, because they share it. But inside the hospital, they're starving. People call me from inside operating rooms, Philip. You wouldn't believe. They're shutting down surgery in the general hospital today, all surgery, because of a pigeon infestation in the operating theaters. Philip, they're shutting down all surgeries, Mount Hope, because they're finding snakes in the operating theater. Philip, all the elderly people that they called out since 6 this morning and put drops in their eyes to dilute, to get them ready to have eye surgery. None of the lenses here. So all them people have to go back home and come back next year. Philip, you ain't wrong, you know. And people waking up. People waking up. And I hope enough people wake up in time, because I'm telling you, Keith Rowley and Wilfred Espinay will answer. I want Keith Rowley to hear me say, and partner, all your little friends who hiding through the courts and things, all of them, time will pass, you know, time longer than time. Long rope for Maga Goat. You see the effort we put in? Go and watch me. You see all that cow skin you just go and roll up in Maruga, bathing yourself in cow blood on the full moon. Go and do all that shit, you know. Go and light your candle outside Balize house, you know. Keith Rowley, hope and pray. Philip Alexander, don't see public office, you know. They go call all your name, they go beg your boy, come down, man. They ain't go hand under that, you know. I told Steve Castani of Newsday today. This is it. You've read the numbers. The Progressive Empowerment Party is going to shake up the political situation in this country. Steve Castani of the Newsday, undo your policy. Level the play field. Make sure the PEP gets the media coverage it is entitled to, not 1 column inch more or less than anybody else. Because Steve Castani, if you survive past the election and the Progressive Empowerment Party forms the government, pick up the phone and call Maxi Coffee, who was the editor. You know why the Mirror closed down? Mirror never survived. What Kamala do Mirror? Call Maxi and ask him, Maxi used to be twirling here, sit down inside Mirror, thinking how to keep people's salaries getting paid because nobody advertising, because the government not advertising. And when the private sector advertise, people calling them and saying, listen, all you supporting that Mirror newspaper, we go stop supporting all you. That is how nasty this country is. And I promise you, and I promise Sabga the same thing. The entire Sabga family, I want them to hear my words. Hear us coming. The country that you all have ruined, that you all have taken advantage of, that Peter George Sr. could have sit with his stunting bunch of jackasses, Mario Sabga Aboud and the rest of them, and talk about, we are the smallest, but we are the most powerful. Like a scene straight out of Scarface. And I wonder if they only know how circumstances change. Ask Carlos Sabga. Ask Carlos, you can ask him. Because Carlos run around the world looking for a cure. I have money. Buy your flowers with your money. It is time that all of the bullshit comes to an end. And we will wait for an election. And we will vote out the insanity of the contract mafia and their two puppet parties, the PNM and the UNC. And those who want to say, Phil, I was your friend, I want to tell you something. I have a measuring tape. I know who is my friend. You see the people who stand with you when things not sure? That is your friend. People who risk, who lose work, who lose contract, who stand with you. That is your friend. Take care of them. Don't come after the fact. I was always there. When Charlie and Mary put together with Tommy and said 1,200 was mine. Miss me with the bullshit. Progressive Empowerment Party invites everybody who wants a better country to get involved now. Westmoreland's pissed that Peter George said Westmoreland's work is to protect Goodwood Park from Cocorate. Westmoreland's pissed. Rowley don't go walking around in Westmoreland's. They want to see you. The people of Regents Park that facing Bayshore want to send a message. We're waiting for the noise to die down. We're waiting for Hong from Diego Martin Regional Corporation to tell me, have you legitimized Ada Aboud Polonais Gate? Because if you did, and you've cut that community in half, Regents Park should build a wall. Because if Regents Park can't go through Bayshore, the road ends right there for Regents Park. Because Regents Park should tax and charge Bayshore by the car to come through and use we roads and we traffic lights. And it's supposed to get that serious. If the people of Westmoreland and Regents Park can't go in a westerly direction, then the people of Bayshore should not be allowed to come here. Yeah? Truth of the matter. We need to get to a place in this country where right shines like light and rises in the sky. Where you know cockroach behavior. Done. Done. See how Gary Griffith called all them little black-hen chicken with gun cockroach? See them white-collar criminals from inside the Chamber of Commerce? Them is mine. Gary run down them. Put Philip Edward Alexander in the Parliament. I want the Bankers Association of Trinidad and Tobago to hear me. You all have ruined lives. You all have caused people to take their own lives in frustration and despair in a nation where banking has been the ruination of the poor. Where you have taken money out of poor people's account, taken every last cent they had in usurious and rapacious unnecessary fees, and then put their accounts into overdraft. So when they get their salary, and they can't get their salary without a bank account, so you jam them in the corner and you put your knee in the back. To the Bankers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, I want you to know that I am aware, and you will pay back 7 times 70 for everybody that you may cry. And we will open the market and bring real banking into Trinidad and Tobago. Today I went into Scotiabank Ellerslie, and they replaced the line with soft cushion chairs and a number system. And the manager came out to me and said, "How you like it?" I said, "This is an improvement." She said, "I thought you would." And I know, and she know, that she's limited in what she could do. But this is what she did. And to all the people who opening their hands and stepping forward and making an attempt to make the country a better country, we see you. Tomorrow morning, I will be in Sangre Grande going to deal with Terry Rondon, the chairman of the regional corporation, who has a responsibility to demolish an illegal structure that is blocking our citizens' access, who went and talked to the jackass prime minister not once but twice, and both on TV, and the son of a bitch didn't help her. So Philip Alexander going down there to help, and Terry Rondon will explain why the entire might of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation has not answered the Burgess in her hour of need. Because we will take him to court. It is time to wake this up. And when we finish in Sangre Grande, going to deal with Kuna Insurance, who took money from poor people every month till January 2019. And now that they make a claim to bury their mother, $30,000 is what they come to you for. You take money from them every month. You tell them, wait, you didn't pay 2 months in 2016, so your policy lapse. Come now, man, Kuna. That is madness. Who could trust Kuna Insurance? I go into credit union, Kuna Credit Union. Somebody have to tell me. Because if this is how they're doing business, then everybody should take all of their business away and put it somewhere else. Because if these poor people who set aside money that they can't afford every month to pay you insurance, they lapsed 2 months in 2016, but you take money for 12 months in 2017, 12 months in 2018 and 2019, and it's now you come to say that because your account had 2 months arrears from 2016, your end lapse. All the advantage in small people and poor people for too long. For too long, our entire economy is built on slave wages and gouging. We've made it so that poor people stay poor. The Progressive Empowerment Party is coming like a rising tide to raise all boats. We are going to change the game. And yes, all of you who have money, all of you in the highest elite, as Gregory Aboud call you, back talk me. When all you bad talk me, I know I'm doing something right, because I'm nothing like all you shameful and indecent. The entire Nahus family, Faris and Co, that drawing all these hundreds of thousands of dollars a month for empty buildings, knowing that poor people suffering in this country. Mona Nahus girl, Mona, yes, shame. All the indecent and obscene, walking around stunting, wearing Gucci and Armani for your stupid little friends, trying to pretend you is something when all you all are people who've used access to political power to feather your nest at the expense of everybody else. Michael Nahus, I am ashamed of you. I am ashamed to know you, Michael Nahus. You could go ahead now and unfriend me on Facebook. Mikey Nahus, we grew up together. When I see us, embrace you like family from tonight. Pass me straight, partner. You lie to me. You lie about One Alexandra Place, and you knew you was cooking a next book. You knew your family was coming again to lash them again. All you obscene and indecent. And I wish the law of karma fall on all of you. For every sufferer in this country who can't get food and medicine for their children, I hope the tears that they cry come out your wife and your mother eye. I hope you feel it, brother, all in your stones. You know when you want to hold your stones and say, oh God, that I wish on all you. I wish that on every single one of all you. I wish that you feel what you cause other people to feel. That's what karma is. That's what karma is. And if they have a God in heaven, if they really have a God in heaven, none of you leaving this place without crying long tears. Pull hair out your head. Call me on the phone, Philip. Oh God, I want to make a donation. Tell me how to do it. I want to undo this, boy. Look what pestilence falling on my family. I wish that for you. I wish an awakening. I want you to hear what anguished cries sounds like in your home, because that's what all you put on poor people in this country. Trinidad and Tobago never had to be so. Trinidad and Tobago, today, mighty Trini sit down next to me and playing and talking to me. Kiss my ass with that lass. I give a shit. All your stunting playing the fool for too long, too flicking long. The Progressive Empowerment Party will undo every corrupt contract, will reopen and examine, or you could burn down everything you want to burn down. We have forensic accountants already standing by. Burn down Wassa, burn down flour mills, burn thing, burn to hide records. We don't have people on standby to come and track and rebuild and put together every single transaction, because prosecution like that, prosecution, and not this jokey justice system where John know Mary and Mary own Harry. Miss me with that bullshit. We need a better country. This is no longer a frou-frou stunting, preening jackass brigade. This is no longer a jackass farm. When the people go out to vote, they vote in freedom. When the people go out to vote, they vote in rescue. When the people go out to vote, they vote in change. Change we could really use. It is time for a real country. And a real country in Trinidad and Tobago recognizes that what was done to those at the bottom rung in this society is unforgivable and shouldn't be allowed to continue for one more day. When Malcolm Jones died, I wished him publicly an eternity of torment. Dear Ramnat, an eternity of torment. There are others, Arvind Kalu, Basdeo Pandey. I want it to fall. I want the power of God and justice. I want right and wrong to be made manifest. I want the power of real karma to show up in all your house. I want you to wake up and know in your, I tell people already, you know, you can't do our next man wrong. You could think, but you can't do our next man wrong. But they have things that God could do that you can't even tell. You think, I tell you, they have people who find themselves with nothing. All of a sudden, everything gone. Everything. Shame on your home. Shame on your family. Shame. 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 Or you put a PNM and a UNC to dirty the education system, to leave them functionally illiterate and stupid, but they're bright enough to know what is wrong, what is right and what is wrong. And the PNM and the UNC have done this nation wrong. Kamla Persad Bissessar, you are a bullshit artist. Trinidad and Tobago needs nothing from you. Kamla Persad Bissessar, you are a liar and a deceiver. You are a fraud. Kamla Persad Bissessar, take your drunken ass off of our political landscape. There is nothing we need, Kamla Persad Bissessar, from you. You egotistical, narcissistic jackass. The entire party used to be having to refer to her. It come down from Tanko. Tanko and Chembal, they were saying, refer to her as the lady. This jackass. This yellow-wearing, stunting jackass, Kamla. Kamla, the country needs nothing from you but a long farewell goodbye. We need nothing more from you. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we waiting to deal with the jackass farm. We don't need your help. Stop sending your little cohorts to tell us we're going to split the vote. They have no votes to split. UNC have no votes to get. The votes that you get from your sycophants, keep those, take that with you to Rienzi. Celebrate that. We're taking the rest. Stop having the racist, tribal, divisive, idiocy to say that we will split the votes like it's only Indian going and vote for PEP. Miss us with your bullshit. We sucking the PNM dry too. You think black people ain't looking and seeing under Rowley what color mankind making money? Everything they but black. Every shade. What up on top? Fitzgerald Hines. Fitzgerald Hines token. That is it. That is it. You have a bunch of them making videos and talking, putting out releases. Afro. Decide if you're for the country or if you're just looking for a soapbox to beat your chest. We get it. You could figure out corruption. What next, Afro? I hear you bad talking me, Afro, because I put your sister Judy Raymond, editor of Newsday, on blast. Afro, we could have worked together. But if you want it to be like this, it could be so too. Paulo Kernahan, this next stunting jackass, who looking for somebody to pay for his tampons and lipstick. Paulo, you can't be writing my words 2 weeks later and then pretending that you're some seer man. Come on. Come on, stop the shit. Decide if you're for a better country. I will open my hand to all of you and bury all the hatchets. If you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, stop the bullshit. Stop it. This little movement of independent and all that shit, forget that. Trinidad and Tobago needs a real government. Trinidad and Tobago needs a government that enunciates policies that fixes the country. They walking around telling you, vote for independence, vote for independence. And independence in each constituency will magically solve the problem. If that were to happen and you vote for 41 independents and they all win, and they reach inside of there, they say, okay, what is we education policy? But we didn't talk about that. All right, what's the public health policy? But we didn't talk about that either. Have you have a national security policy? No. Food? No. Poverty? No. Social? No. So what they vote for we for? So they could say we win. Jackasses. Our next jackass brigade. The independent movement are failures who can't form a party, who can't get consensus, who can't work together. All of them want to be a silo. I is the king of Diego Martin. You is the king of Caroni. Look, the king of Tobago accomplishing nothing. Nothing. And I'm laying it for you, babe. Because you have 12 months or less. Because the head of the jackass farm reading the tea leaves too. You have 12 months or less for them to call an election. And you are going to make the most important decision of your life. You are going to make the most important decision of your life in the next election. It will literally require you to put God out of your thoughts, to abdicate sense and reason. If you were to give the PNM or the UNC another chance at power, look around you. Forget me. Look around you. The evidence. All our farmland, either growing razor grass or farming out to financiers like Joe Perez and Derek Chin and Hadid. We're building strip malls and movie towns and gas stations. Look at it. Food land, not growing food. So Hadco and Amco and Massey and ADM and the others could import food for you and jack it up 375%. Look around you. Every road, even roads that they pitched last night, damaged today. Look around you. Look. The evidence of what you need to see. The PNM and the UNC is the failed education system, the failed public health system, the theft of $3 trillion. We have a skyline of buildings that we've built with Chinese dollars that we never need, we will never use. Look at what we rented from Faris and Nahus. Look at Franklin Khan. He's the Minister of Energy. Build a building in his wife's name to rent it to the courts. It is a game of jackass who could do you the most worse. Look around you, all the evidence you need. Push a trolley in a grocery. Push a trolley in the grocery. Look at the prices, and while you're there, and you're looking at the price of a tin of Libby's, go on Amazon, punch in your address, and see how much for a tin of whole kernel corn shipped to you. See if it's not less than picking it up off Massey shelf and putting it in your trolley. And if it is, if it's cheaper, the evidence is right there. Your children are being taken advantage of, misled by a failed education system, inculcating nonsense into their heads. We have A jobs policy, non-existent. Nobody knows. All the children that go into school, where you want to be? A ballet dancer? A fireman? Everybody want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. You know why? Because nobody else have a clue what it is taking to run this country. Because nobody running it. We have a plan. There is no roadmap. There is nobody saying that we are going to diversify into agro and food processing, into cruise ship tourism, into foreign direct investment, jobs creation in the IT and IS industries. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Nobody have a clue where Trinidad trying to go other than jackasses like Espinay and Rowley 1% friends, robbing and raping it, pinning it down on the ground and dropping iron, and Kamala and her crew waiting there, filing fingernails, hoping to get a chance to take the victim, take it further. Trinidad and Tobago, you've lost everything under the PNM and the UNC. You've lost your status in the world repeatedly. There was a time the most important nation on the planet for cocoa was Trinidad. There was a time a critically important nation on the planet for sugar was Trinidad. There was a time we were the #1 refinery on planet Earth. There was a time Trinidad was the #1 supplier of natural gas to the United States. There was a time this nation made sense. But that is not now. And like what took place in CL Financial and Clico, when the directors realized that the company was crumbling and they started to loot it, the PNM is operating that same model in Trinidad and Tobago, hot on the heels of the UNC. Kamla Prasad, Bisesa and crew made fools of this nation that tell them, in response to the crime, we are going to have commissions of inquiry to find out who commit the crime, to thief more money. Lawyers and friends of lawyers got fabulously wealthy in 5 years. I know a lawyer who was a real estate agent, had him on speed dial. One in Fairways come up, you taking it? Yeah. You coming to see it now? If you say it good, I taking it. Buying land and house in big shot communities, like you're buying watermelon and pawpaw. You don't need to knock and see. We have money. Bring it now, man. Bring it. There was a time this was a good country to live. There was a time we could have said Trinidad and Tobago mattered for something. There was a time we had an identity, and you could have said this is what makes Trinidad and Tobago Trinidad and Tobago. But now, Tobago dead and rotten, Trinidad punch drunk and reeling. The people of this country have no leadership, are looking to the red and ready and yellow and unsteady crew and seeing snarling cobos, hyenas and vultures. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago have to make a decision. Like the pastor and his wife said to me today, Philip Edward Alexander, you are doing God's work. From his mouth, from your mouth, we hear his words. Do not stop. Do not stop. We are in it to win it. You have dirtied my name, defamed me, scandalized me, assassinated my character, and all those weapons formed against me, not one prospered. We are still the fastest growing political party in this country's history. This Saturday, we open our 4th office. The PNM only have 1. The UNC now have 2 because they decide to follow us too. But Saturday, we open our 4th office. In 6 weeks, we open our 5th. We are in it to win it. We are putting down roots. We are standing strong. We are committing to the course of action. If you want a better country, if you want a better nation for your future frail and dying self, if you want a better country for your loved ones and your children, if you want a place where water could flow in your taps and you could afford to live, come and have a conversation with the Progressive Empowerment Party. You know what they dare not do anymore? Come and say, why don't you tell us what they're going to do? Because when we lash them with that, they go say, oh, God, all right. Why don't you tell us how? We get them that too. This is a party with a plan, with an idea, with a timeline. And we have the courage to stand for red, white, black, green, and every race and shade in between. You want a country that you could wake up and love feel patriotic and about. You want a country to come back home to the foreign-based Chinese who desperate to come back home and let your children walk where you used to run. Stand with the Progressive Empowerment Party. Everything we do costs us money. All those radio shows you see that we're doing every month, Felicia taking night and making day, trying to put uncovering Peter to cover Paul. Whole of 6,000 here, whole of 5,000 there. The message have to get out. These people working their fingers to the bone. Christ, they've been doing it 2 years and 3 months now. How long you need to look and to see to say, all right, this is the genuine article are coming on board. Look at $10,000. See how that could help you. We've had some jackasses come on board, talk big, they want to help, and they only realize they're coming to help themselves. Coming to make a name for themselves. They want to be able to pick up the phone and call Philip and talk to Philip. Miss me with the bullshit. I am not a celebrity and I don't want to be a star. We're here to serve. I want a better country. I promise you all 5 years after that I'm done. I don't want this for me. I certainly don't want to waste any more of my life. Trinidad and Tobago. We could do this. We could fix this. We could undo and redo and reboot this republic. We could make it so that everybody happy, so you could cut out the wrought iron in your window and throw it in the sea. You could take out that stupid water tank and that pump that making noise in your head and throw it away and make space and let the breeze blow. You could leave your door open and walk out. Hey, neighbor! When last you do that? You want a better country. We all want a better country. The Trinidad and Tobago you want is on the other side of what you do next. This man, Tyrone Hernandez, is a seer man. The words he just said, your vote will decide our destiny. Your vote will decide what you are to be. Your vote can protect our country's fate. Use it well before it is too late.
If it is that who you're voting, baby, or not out. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the proven to be your people about. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that change should come about. Just as how you vote them in, vote them out. Register and if they can see, stay your finger and show them no mercy. Put them up in total skull and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power to be dangerous. Let's put our country together again. If for 30 years you voting them in, and these old witches,
As soon as they win,
they give you big words.
that enslave your souls, promising your roads.
And giving potholes.
A nation that has been beaten into submission by two versions of the same corrupt racist drivel. Neither of them fixed water. Neither of them made us food self-sufficient. Neither the PNM nor the UNC secured this nation's borders to end the drug trade, the illegal US trade, the gun trade, the human trafficking trade. Neither the PNM nor the UNC fixed the Trinidad and Tobago police service. Neither the PNM nor the UNC right-sized the education system so that there could be prestige education across the board for all. Because it's the same salary you're paying teachers in Fatima is the same salary you're paying teachers in Mukorapo. So tell me why one succeeded and one failing. And if you have an answer to that question and your Minister of Education doesn't, fire that stunting jackass, because where there is an explanation, there is a solution.
If they are the reason why the economy goes sprout, when you're voting for them all, if it is the passing laws that them alone can float, when you're voting for them all, if it is the fattest ice sauce, east, west, north and south, they said where you vote them in, register and vote them all, totally stake your finger and rescue the country, vote them out with tempo, they happy in pain, let's put our country together again, vote them out with calypso and joyous refrain, let's put our country together again. If their policy is a fallacy, bureaucracy, a catastrophe, if they cannot fight,
And you see it so, then your only hope is for them to go. This Saturday, this coming Saturday, there are two Progressive Empowerment Party events happening in the world. One in New York City at 704 Fenimore Street between Albany and Troy at the PEP New York City office between 12 noon and 6 p.m. Support our soup sale. It is a fundraiser. Reach out to Denise Xavier to place orders at 347-500-1457. That is one of the events. The second event is the opening of the Progressive Empowerment Party North headquarters that will be responsible for every constituency from Diego Martin West to St. Joseph above Caroni. Those 10 constituencies, including Port of Spain North, Port of Spain South, Laventille East, and Laventille West. This Saturday at 5 o'clock, if you are in Trinidad, make your way to 10th Avenue Barataria. You will not be disappointed. There is nothing like a revival of hope to give you a reason to wake up tomorrow, set on fire for a better Trinidad and Tobago. Come and join us. Be one of the positive ripples in the pools that leaves there Saturday to go home and call family members and say, you see what I just see. Change coming.
if it is fabrication, these statements that they spout, when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. If it is that frustration that's make you want to shout, when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. Before they misuse out,
T-Folk sell out and takes out. If it's you who vote them in,
vote them out. Register and vote them out. All of them, vote
speech, a garden that grows, and one law for each. This is not a seaman like that shit snake Ragu, banana salesman, mechanic, P-taxi driver Ragu, who get a pack of cards and come in and fool people with a pack of ass. What Tyrone Hernandez did 30 years ago, when you hear the words of this song, when you hear the next chorus, you will know that that man was given a vision by God. Listen to what Tyrone Hernandez said.
If it is that injustice is what they always show, when you're voting, vote them wrong. If it is that avarice is all they seem to know, when you're voting, vote them wrong. If it is their politics,
It's just a puppy show. When elections day come,
all bandits must go.
all of them,
Register and
red crapple, yellow crapple, same handful of salt, same cup of bleach, red crapple, yellow crapple.
utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power.
Terminate the rain.
Let's put our country together again.
The video is finished. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for your company. The next video, the next song is a bonus. This is because of public demand, and I have to play it. The next song that plays, I endorse every single word. Trinidad and Tobago, we could be the most blessed and beautiful nation in this world. We could still be. We just have to want it bad enough. It is on the outside of getting rid of the twin cancers of the PNM and the UNC. We know exactly what we need to be.
Every day I sit and wonder how this sweet island gets so bitter. No salary but cost of living gets higher. We inhumane behavior, things don't turn upside down. Smiling faces becomes a frown. Guns galore, we now live in fear. People no longer seems to care. My heart is filled with pain and agony. I see a man begging for mercy. They rob him and they shoot up me body. I can't take no more. I pray for we safety. Sweetie auntie, bring it back. Land of the milk and honey, bring it back. Sweet family, the way that it used to be, Lord. Like long ago, what was my
and playing dumb. You hear that line? Jesus.
Sweet family, the way that it used to be, like long ago, what was mine was yours. Peace and harmony, my red, white, and black country. Take on and lift up this island. A place with situation in your hand. You can create and you can destroy. Please turn our sorrows into joy. Forgive us, Father, we have sinned. Turn back the sword, oh Lord, and pleaded. Change the hearts of the wicked ones. Guide and protect all your daughters and sons. Through this perilous time, for know with you on board, blessings will flow. TNT will again arise. To the sweet, sweet border. Bring it soft, bring it sweet and bring it back, not the milk and honey. Sweet family, the way that it used to be, Lord. Like long ago, what was mine was yours too. Peace and harmony, my red, white, and black country.
Those who hear the message and playing dumb are wailing and a gnashing of teeth in time to come. Trinidad and Tobago, stand together. Make this the time that we all look back on and say, remember when we had it bad. Remember when this was a land suffering for release, for relief, for a rescue. Remember when we were broken to the core. They were calling us a shithole, a cesspool, a failed nation. This was the time we turned it around. You remember? You remember when we dug deep and we stood together as one people under one flag? You remember? You remember when we got together as one Trinbago and fixed it? We undid and redid and rebooted the republic. Remember? Tell the grandchildren there was a time you couldn't go in your house without turning 3 and 4 keys. You had gates and doors and burglar proof and burglar alarm and security guard and gated community and pit bull. You still wasn't safe. There was a time when you leave all of that behind, the bandit waiting outside while you feeding pit bull, he waiting for you. There was a time in Trinidad and Tobago, you tell your grandchildren, they wouldn't believe you, that water used to come to your house once a month. And you used to have big black tanks out in your yard catching water. Like we was 5,000 years ago. Yeah, this was Trinidad and Tobago. There was a time, despite the fact that we had the largest pitch lake in the world, you couldn't drive on one smooth road. Yeah. There was a time. There was a time the education system in this country failed everybody. Nobody had a good chance. Even the children who come out prestige education, coming out functionally literate, can't string a proper sentence. Look at them. There was a time. There was a time, if I tell you, you wouldn't believe, there was a time our public health was medieval. You could have go in there and dead. People used to go to have children in San Fernando General Hospital and mother and child dead. Normal. There was a time the government used to pay the media to publish whatever bullshit they wanted. Nobody knew what the truth was. There was a time when Trinidad and Tobago wasn't a real country. There was a time before the Progressive Empowerment Party, before the rise of the people to change this country, before we undid and redid what was the madness of the PNM and the UNC, there was a time nothing worked in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank God we fixed it. We changed it in time. Thank God there was a rescue. Let us be able to say in the future, remember when we fixed it, we need your help, we need your vote, we need your time, your advice, we need your money. This party needs your assistance. We having barbecue, soup kitchen, fundraiser, pet market. We're doing everything. We're doing all the right things. What it will take for you to say, I will take a bet on my country. I will invest in you. If the 10,000 people who tell me they're with me behind the scenes, each of them stay behind there and write me a check for $1,000, write it to the party so we could take the message to the 4 corners of Trinidad and Tobago and wake this nation up to the rescue that we all know we need. If we got that help, we need your help. We need your assistance. To the young people out there who are frustrated, come to the Progressive Empowerment Party. We have a vibrant youth movement trying to get off the ground. We need you. To the elders in Trinidad and Tobago who feel like politics and government have forgotten them, we have an elders council. Come and sit with us. Come and raise your issues. Come and add your voice. Come and help us fix it. To the women in Trinidad and Tobago fed up of these bullshit fly-by-night agenda whores that are women's organizations. Those of you who want real representation for women's issues, come and sit in the women's arm with Keisha Lewis and the team and talk and add your voice. We need your help. We need your support. We need your money. Share this video. Share this video 10 times. Share this video 100 times. Share this video 1,000 times. Share it everywhere you could. Learn the message. When you stand up on the corner, you stand up by the water cooler, you stand up in the line in licensing office or KFC, and people talking bullshit all around you, tell them there is a political movement gaining steam in this country. Momentum. A political tremor becoming a full-blown earthquake. Stand by. Get ready, gird your loins, be prepared. A better day is coming. Trinidad and Tobago, our wake up is here. We are ringing the alarm. Get on board. We need your help. The better country that we all want, you have to help us build it. Until tomorrow, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.